Did you know that you brought something up?
What?
That was such a good little thing to uncover. You wanted to know who the first Asian player was
Oh yeah.
ever.
Yeah, we talked about this in May, somewhere in there. Because we were talking about there's the linebacker from Notre Dame, Teo, who, of course, Notre Dame was in the national championship game against Alabama. And in the course of it, yeah, we thought, who was the first Asian player in the NFL? And Joey, you've done some research, found out. What do you know? What did you find?
I have, and Roman Gabriel actually is considered to be the first Asian player in the entire National Football League. Now, Roman Gabriel, I was just faintly remember what the name, remembering, or I had faintly known about the name, but I have to tell you, I've been so impressed since I did some research on him and found out more about him and just what he went through. Roman Gabriel actually was the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams when they had a team in the 60s and the early 70s. He first achieved stardom when he was at North Carolina State, where he played his college ball. He was a two-time All-American quarterback, and he set virtually every NC State passing record up to 1962. He was born August 5th, 1940. I know somebody. You know somebody born August 5th.
Oh, we totally
right here in the studio. He was born in Wilmington, North Carolina, and here's the key here. He was the son of a Filipino immigrant who came to the U.S. in 1925, and his mother was Irish American. He was drafted by the Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders!
The Raiders!
One of our favorites.
So what does that say? That's one more instance, which I feel good about, that we've pointed out on the previous show, where Al Davis gave a minority player an opportunity, and he was one of the first to do so.
Might not have been given that opportunity by the other owners. Who knows?
That's true. That's absolutely true. You know, he was ready to leave the Rams when George Allen took over as head coach, and George Allen changed his mind and started him as a quarterback. And you know what I really want to say about Roman Gabriel is hard to believe, and I'm not trying to be I should say nationality prejudice or whatever, but it's just a known fact that Asians are usually a smaller structure.
Except for the sumo wrestlers. Isn't that right?
That's a good exception.
Yeah,
that's a great exception.
We talked about that last time too.
We did?
But anyhow, yeah.
I must subconsciously find that a very interesting subject if it came up before. Somewhere back in here. But he was actually considered, believe it or not, the first heavy, or you should say larger quarterback. I mean, the guy weighed, where's that page? He weighed 200 and some pounds for a quarterback. He was 235 pounds, and he was 6'4", so he obviously got more genes from his mama's side, I would imagine.
The Irish side.
Yes.
And nowadays, that's about the build that many pro football quarterbacks have. I mean, you'd love to have that kind of size in your quarterback because there's less chance that he's going to get sacked. Probably that's bigger than most NFL quarterbacks, 6'4" and 235. I mean, that's a serious, strong dude.
The double Jew, he's pretty big, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Big Ben. You got it. He's probably about that size. And you know, he doesn't get sacked very often, very nimble on his feet.
Well, when you said that, that's what made me think of it. Now,
Roethlisberger, hence the double Jew moniker. We like Big Ben here at the Joey and Mickey Pro Football.
We do.
Yeah.
We most definitely do. And you know, I'm a little worried about how much pressure he's going to be under this year. But up until this point, you've done a fine job, Ben. And you got yourself in a little bit of trouble there too. But I understand you're married now, and you know, I hope everything went well there, and you know, keep on playing. You got 2 Super Bowl rings, baby. Obviously, you know that, and so that's got to count for something, you know. As far as Roman Gabriel was concerned, Mickey, you know, he played for the Rams, and he played for the Eagles, and he was the 1973 comeback player of the year, even though he was toward the end of his career, and he was in his upper 30s. What do you think about that?
That's saying something. That really is something.
So, Roman Gabriel, you obviously played during a time when, again, there was a lot of prejudice not only in the country, but unfortunately there was prejudice and racial tensions that spilled over into the NFL with the fans, and probably what you sometimes faced there, which maybe you never even talked about, what you faced between other players. But I have to say, the one thing that I'm the most impressed with is you were the first Asian player in the NFL, and you represented, and you were not only a mediocre player, but based on your numbers and based on what you had accomplished and how many wins you brought to your teams, you were a good player.
And on top of that, he had a fantastic football player's name. I mean, Roman Gabriel. Is that not a great name for a football player? He sounds tough. It's unique. Roman. Gabriel's a great name. I know a kid's name. I know a kid named Gabriel, so it always helps, right?
Every time I hear it, I love the sound of the name. I really do. And to me, it conjures up Greek mythology and toughness and mythology and a statue. I see a statue, but his name, I think, I really have to believe that based on the racial tensions that we're talking about, his mother probably purposely gave him that name so that most people would not realize that he was of Asian descent with a name like that.
Not to be forgotten.
What more can I say?
Beautiful.